Hi, welcome to Amazing Science TV. My name is Tuta Dennis. Thank you for the subscription, for those who have subscribed. But if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to that channel. Hit the notification bell so that you will get the notifications and share the content. So today we are going to be looking at ionic radius. Ionic radius is the distance between two neighboring ions. So we are under ionic radius. We shall talk about cations, the ionic radius, how it varies in cations and anions. So in cations we see that what are cations first? Cations are positively charged ions. How are they formed? Cations are formed by removal of one or more electrons from atoms, from neutral atoms. Removal of one or more electrons from gaseous neutral atoms. So, taking consideration of these, magnesium and iron. So, magnesium and iron, when you check magnesium and its iron here, magnesium and magnesium 2, we see that the trend of ionic radius is 0.136, then 0.065. Then we also see that for iron, a metal, we see it is 0.116. Then iron 2 iron is 0.076. So what do you see on the trend? The trend, we see that as we remove an electron or two electrons here. Now, like for this one, we have removed two electrons. When we remove the two electrons, we see that the ionic radius decreases, which is the same trend here. So what could be the cause? We see that the cause is one. For when electrons are removed from the atom, the nuclear charge remains almost constant. The nuclear charge remains constant as the screening effect decreases. How does it decrease? Why does it decrease? Because the electrons are being removed. And so the outermost electrons are being pulled more to the nucleus because the effective nuclear charge will increase due to the removal of the electrons. So when the effective nuclear charge increases, then the electrons are pulled more to the nucleus. And in so doing, the size of the atom decreases and the ionic radius also decreases. That is the explanation of the variation here in the ionic radius. Then also we talk about the anions. Anions are negatively charged ions. How are they formed? Anions are formed by gaining of one or more electrons to the neutral atom. So we have a neutral atom and you add there an electron or two or more. And that's how these anions are formed. So what is it's the variation of ionic radius in the anions? We taking a consideration of chlorine and oxygen. So chlorine, we see that it is 0.09, and the chlorine ion, after gaining one electron, we see it is 0.18. Also oxygen, we see it is the same trend. We see that it is 0.066 for the atom. Then for the ion, after gaining the two electrons, we see it is 0.140. Which trend do we see here? We see that ionic radius will increase in comparison of the atom and its corresponding ion. What could be the reason why it increases? It increases because when we add electrons, the effective nuclear charge decreases. Why does it decrease? Because the screening effect will be higher because the electrons are being added. And in so doing, the electrons in the outermost shell, they are far away from the nucleus. And them being far away from the nucleus, it implies that the size of the atom increases, the size of the ion increases. And when it increases, we see that the ionic radius also increases. So that's why we see that ionic radius increases it is higher in anions compared to their in comparison to the atomic radius of their corresponding atoms from which they were formed. So that is the trend. We see that ionic radius decreases for cations and it increases for anions. Thank you for watching. I remain Tutor Reza Omara Dennis. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel, Amazing Science TV, and hit the notification bell so that you get the notifications of the uploads. Then also share the content with your friends. Thank you for watching.